Hey, hey, hey. Thank you for coming out and joining us on another episode of Melanated and Candid Productions, The Color of Truth.
Sound you typing away over there.
trying to get it together, you know.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yes. So how's it going today, Miss B?
Nice gloomy day. It's been pouring down rain pretty much all day today over here.
Ooh. Mm-mm.
And hey, watching these news, listening to these politics. That's about it though. How
Okay.
about you?
Ah, um, well, I pretty much did some running around today. Tried to handle all my little last minute business on a Friday that I could do. Um, uh-uh. That is not what happened, Miss Nisi. Miss
They
Mona.
asked me to sit down and take a seat every once in a while.
So, my saying and my motto is if I'm not doing anything, then I'm not being productive. I'm wasting time.
I feel you on that. I
So
feel you.
I got to be doing something. So when I feel like I can't do something, then that's frustrating. So
I
yeah,
feel you.
that's it for real. Just running around trying to get my life in order. Gearing up for tax season. So I'm looking for some new employees. We doing live in person and we doing virtual taxes this year. So um, doing the setting up.
Oh
I'm doing the tax class right now. In the morning.
man, I forgot it's almost that time of year.
Oh yeah,
This year flew by.
yes, it did. It's 2023.
Yeah, October flew by. I feel like it's still supposed to be September. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's almost tax time.
Nope. Scorpios, let's go.
It's not looking good for those refund checks, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely gonna get back to our tax talk conversations because I think I'm gonna do like a tax like a specific tax talk and do several of them in a row and just talk about different things like the new changes to the tax laws that's coming up this year because every year something changes, right?
Just help me get on Trump status so I don't have to pay no taxes, and we good.
I mean,
I just want Trump status.
you know, we gotta get that Trump money. I get
I
that
feel
Trump
you.
money.
I feel you.
Trying to get
We working on it. We working on it.
for sure. So we're gonna jump on into some um, political conversations since we're coming up on the November elections and everybody is out here voting and a lot of times most people don't know who to vote for or why they're voting for a certain person, except for the things that they've heard. We're going to bring all of the things to light, which slowly but surely having conversations surrounding the different um, politicians that are running and yeah, trying to see who's worth it and who's not.
Right. But you know what? I think that's one of the issues in the melanated community. A lot of us are Democrats because of, and I'm just going to say it, I call voting straight Democrat a generational curse because honestly and truthfully, most of us have voted Democrat simply because our parents were Democrat, because we had Democratic conversations at home without any real justifiable policies or without even really knowing these candidates or what they stand for. It was just that we automatically thought that we were supposed to be Democrats. We thought that they operated in our best interest. And they've always delivered us pretty packages. With a lot of ugly gifts on the inside of those packages. So yeah, if we're going to continue to get involved in these elections, as important as voting is, we've got to spend more time getting to know some of the candidates. So today we're going to spend a little bit of time on a couple of them, but more so on the Georgia runoffs that's going between Warnock and Walker.
Yeah, so they be having the juice, we be having the juice too. How about that? So we'll get into it. And yeah, certified financial planners, let's go. No, that's my goal to be a full service financial planning agency, like a one stop shop where people can come and they can get all of their tax needs met. Okay. Oh yeah, about how weird this looks right now, and I don't know why.
They will not let you be great.
I don't know what this and why is it in the middle like this? And
I don't
what?
know, but I'm finally in here. Hey, now I'm trying to get this camera thingamajigger working.
What's
This is
up,
Welcome,
Nisi?
for me today.
welcome. I'm glad you got in too, because I was over here like, ooh, we did not bump you out.
Listen, I was on, I was all in. The next thing you know, I'm gone. I'm like, hello, sis,
Mm-mm.
Don't blame that on
sis.
us.
I'm like, for real, they just kicked me out. Ain't
So
nobody
she,
gonna say nothing to me. Y'all just gonna kick me out? Like, just mute or boot her.
they don't think that was me. It was my fault that I was struggle streaming for real, and I hadn't accidentally booted you out. That is not what happened. That is not.
That's okay, but that's okay. My internet will need to be working right too, so it can stop circulating. Talking about, what is it still telling me? Oh nope, now it's trying to let me on my phone. Ain't nobody trying to get on the phone now no more. Dang, I'm already in here.
Okay, so I can click these, but this is about to be funny because I can't see what none of these are that I'm clicking on before I click it, right?
What?
No, yeah, it's weird the way that it's sitting up inside. Yeah.
Hey, I'm listening.
Okay, now we gonna start off with the Pelosi, right?
Oh
So,
we could start off with just a little bit of current news. Has nothing to do with the Atlanta uh uh candidates. Just a little bit of current news. For anybody who doesn't know, Nancy Pelosi's house was targeted. Um, yeah, so interesting. And
Yes,
the matter of fact, this isn't the first time her house has been targeted either.
they be out to get Miss Pelosi. I guess they don't like what it is she got to say, huh?
It- hey, what it is she got to say and what it is she does and her policies too.
hmm
I- Hey, listen.
Yeah. Pelosi is, in my opinion, Pelosi is the poison in the Democratic Party. Seriously.
Ooh, why poison?
Because honestly and truly, because she's running the whole damn show. So when you running it, hey, when you running it, everything falls on you.
So you saying she's the puppeteer?
You don't think she is?
I don't know. I mean, I'm,
No, I
I'm
don't. But
Nancy
no.
has even come out and said she's the head of the Democratic Party.
oh. Well, I mean, when you say it and you feel that way, then
I
what
mean,
else?
I'm just saying. Nancy said she was the brains behind the Democratic Party. So if you the brains behind the Democratic Party, if you the bulldog of the Democratic Party, if you top dog, whatever you want to call yourself, then hey, that means when all the shit that goes wrong, that shit falls under you too.
Yeah, no,
So
we don't
yeah,
be
she's the
credit.
poison of the Democratic Party. But yeah, her house has been targeted a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nisi, why you say no?
Oh, I didn't hear her say that. Hey, I mean, hey, if she's saying it, then obviously that's what you want. You want the heat, but I didn't think she was. I didn't think she was trying to represent it. I do know that
Who
she
do
got a
you
lot
think
of.
is the head? Who do you think is the head of the Democratic Party if it's not Nancy?
I mean, Nancy talks so much. That's probably why. Nancy talks so much.
But I'm
Nobody talks as
saying,
much as Nancy.
who do you think is running or leading the Democratic Party if it's not Nancy? Because it damn sure ain't Biden.
No, I don't think no one in particular by themselves is leading it. I think they're all collectively talking and working together, as in
Nah,
they
just
are.
like Trump
Not,
was leading
not.
the Republican Party for a short stint, Nancy been leading the Democratic Party for a minute. She was leading the Democratic Party when Obama was in office.
Mm,
Hmm, yes.
okay.
Yeah, and
Well,
she's come out and said that herself.
Hey, if you want to be the head sister girlfriend in charge, then go ahead take that role. Just know there's a lot of heat to come with a head soldier in charge. Period. Like the head, yeah, they're always something that's coming for you. Period. They try to get her in January. Wasn't in January the 6th. They was trying to get her then. They always gonna try to get her because she said she the head. So yeah, you right. You right.
oh yeah, no. Apparently, she learning.
No, she's not. She's
No,
playing
she
victim.
They
definitely
busted
learning.
up.
Nah, she ain't
They
learning.
busted up in that
She ain't
house.
learning. they finna get tough on crime is what's gonna happen. But go ahead with the story.
Mm. So apparently, somebody attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband, and he's facing attempted homicide and some other charges. The alleged assailant is 42-year-old David DePape of Berkeley, California.
What he look like? Where he at?
So, hold on. This was the
I
little
hadn't
story.
seen his face yet. Yeah, I hadn't seen his face yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the face. Let me see his face.
Oh. When we get done though, I do want to come back up, y'all, real quick and run this this video since we're talking about Warnock and Walker.
Gotcha.
But so apparently the suspect was supposed to be in search of Nancy Pelosi, not looking for the husband. He just was the first one that got boom rocked because he was the first one that the suspect seen. He came in, he called out, "Where's Nancy?" Nancy wasn't around. Nancy knew better. She knew to get up.
Nancy wasn't even at home. She was in DC.
I'm about to say she in DC working.
Yeah, Nancy
like,
in DC.
Where was you at watching TV the whole entire time, dude? Like,
no, he was apparently running up in there looking for her. They done charged him now with multiple crimes, including attempted homicide and elder abuse. Elder abuse. He was only.
Well, I think that's a previous charge because I think they went and pulled some of his records, and he's got like a few charges on his he got a little bit of a record.
Okay, because I'm like, wait a minute, elder abuse. Okay, well, so Paul Pelosi was
her husband is 82, so
I'm about to say her husband is elderly.
Yeah, he is 82, but I think that elder abuse is a previous charge.
Okay. So they said that they took him on over to a hospital though, and he is expected to make a full recovery. And that would be considered elder abuse on the 82-year-old. And then he apparently ran up in there with a hammer, violently assaulted Mr. Pelosi inside of their home, looking for his wife. Said that he broke in and he didn't even know that he was going to have to end up beating up the husband. He was looking for the wife. The husband ended up going through surgery for a skull fracture, suffering blunt force trauma to his head and his body. And he's expected to recover, though, like make a full recovery. And then Miss Nancy, like y'all said, she was in Washington at the time of the assault. She wasn't at home.
Yeah, but you know how personal an attack has to be for your weapon of choice to be a hammer.
Yeah.
Of all things, that's a very personal weapon of choice.
Yeah, he was at home getting ready to go bludgeon her down real quick.
Right. Bludgeon is the right word. That is the right word because that's exactly what he was about to do. Well, he bludgeoned the husband.
Yeah, he didn't crack that man's skull at 82 years old though. Did he have to do him like did he really have to beat him up like that?
No, not at all.
Or did he just want to make an example out of him? You know, since the wife wasn't there, I'm gonna make an example out of you, and this is what you're gonna get.
Whatever it is.
I thought I heard in a news story that I was kind of in and out listening to something about, I guess he was trying to attack the assailant. So I don't know if at one point in time he snatched the hammer from the guy and the guy got it back. But I think there was one report where they actually said that at one point in time, both of the men had a hammer. So I don't know if both of them just had a hammer or if he managed to get the hammer out of the assailant's hand and then the assailant got it back and that's when he bashed his skull. So I'm not sure.
I'm sure the rest of the story gonna come out. He gonna tell it all once he get down there into that jail. That's how it usually go. So
yeah, but just like my bad. Go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead. What were we gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, and that's so crazy because just last year, you remember they found that the graffiti on her house, and there was a severed pig set in her driveway. And that was in I think that was in 2021. I think that was 2021.
I'm wondering if it was him this whole time stalking, trying to get.
But
Exactly.
but
All
in
this
all
time.
honesty, her enemy count could be so high. It could be a slew of people
That's real.
responsible for that. But you know what though? They letting them know that they can be touched. And one of the things that they started pushing for after, because you remember Gretchen, Michigan governor was kidnapped. One of the things that they had started pushing for was more privacy, or their addresses and all that stuff, information not be made public. But my thing is this: you serve the public. So if you're worried about the repercussions of policies that you put in place, maybe you want to care more about the policies you actually put in place. Not that I'm saying I'm an advocate for you running up on a politician and bashing their head in because you don't like their policy, because you're never going to please everybody. But at the same time, there are a lot of things that Nancy Pelosi and other politicians have done that should enrage the masses, in all honesty. Even if you want to talk about basic stuff, like when C-19 went down, she's one of the main people pushing you got to wear a mask. She was trying to enforce it at the Capitol. Everybody had to wear a mask. But yet and still, when you catch her out in public, she doesn't have a mask on. And when they asked her about it, you know what her excuse was? Oh, I didn't know the cameras were on. What does the cameras being on have to do with you following the policy that you put in place, ma'am?
Because she's exempt, she said, from the policies and
You know
procedures.
the hell you see, that's the problem. You can't be wanting to enforce or infringe upon other people if you're not willing to do the same thing. So when all this do as I say and not as I do, hey, people are letting them know that y'all can be touched. Not that I'm in support of that, but if you're gonna be a policymaker for the people, how can you not be concerned about the policies that you enact that impact the people? But yeah, but I'm thinking the husband was probably trying to fight back, and maybe that's why. That's what I'm thinking happened.
He said, "You ain't about to take me out. You got me messed up. Why? 82 years of my life, I'm out here."
Okay. In all honesty, you know the 82-year-old potential to survive in America. So hey, but that's another thing though. What a lot of younger people don't realize is a lot of these elders, you can't scare them. Of course, you can probably overpower them, of course, naturally, but they're not scared of you.
Well, we got something to be scared of. That's what's wrong with these people.
But I'm saying a lot of people judge people based off of size, based off of, if you're elderly or if you're a lot younger, a lot smaller, things of that nature. And you got to realize just because somebody's elder, because if you survived World War II, Vietnam War and all that, you ain't scared of these little youngsters.
Right.
Not at all.
Not at all. And we'll fight one.
Right.
So, wait, before we get off of that and I go back up to the video with Warnock, I wanted to see, did you see all the things that they charged him with though? So that hammer, they didn't give him a bond, and then they charged him with attempted murder, burglary of a residence, assault with a deadly weapon, threatening a family member of a police official, dissuading a witness from reporting a crime, elder abuse, battery with serious bodily injury, and damaging a wireless device.
So is this all for this break-in?
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And apparently both of them were holding a hammer when the police got there.
Okay.
Paul said he ran.
So hold on. So that was both of their weapon of choice. So the assailant grabbed the hammer and come over to the house to do whatever he was going to do. And at home, you did he grab a hammer because he saw the other guy with the hammer, or was that just the first thing he grabbed?
He grabbed. Now that's
because a hammer, unless I'm in the garage, a hammer's not going to be the first thing I grab because the hammer's not in the convenient location.
That might have been the first thing he seen. The suspect snatched the hammer from him though and beat him up real bad.
Okay.
Why you even take a hammer?
Yeah. See.
Hey, I guess he said he was fighting fire with fire.
That is not what we do. That is not what we do.
Yeah, a hammer is not going. You come in my house, a hammer is not going to be my weapon of choice.
It is definitely not going to be my weapon of choice.
We're not finna get that close. First of all,
So
I
I'm a
don't
little,
want you
Not
to
if
be
I
that close
not
to
if I
me.
can help it. If I can
I'm
help it, we ain't
sorry.
getting that close.
I'm a little confused. I'm sorry. I'm a little confused because the way that this reads says that the police came to their residence at 2:27 as part of a priority well-being check.
Right. So who did the check? Maybe it was a neighbor that saw something suspicious.
Okay, so then when they got there, they encountered him. Both of them were holding the hammer. So how did the police let him take the hammer away from him and beat him up, or
Now
because it
that's
says
interesting
after
too.
that, officers then immediately tackled the suspect, disarmed him, and took him into custody. So the police were standing there and watched him get his head bashed in with the hammer.
I don't know. All of it sounds questionable as hell.
So now hold on. Now that's interesting too, because
Mm-hmm.
anybody with a weapon is supposed to be the assumed assailant.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that happened, right? Um, that's just the paralegal in me.
So hold on. So and not that I'm saying that this is what they should have done, but you pull over a melanated man who
Mhm.
just happens to maybe say something that you don't like, doesn't turn around fast enough, whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden it warrants, or they're running away, that warrants bullets in their back. But you see two individuals
Mhm.
using weapons attacking each other.
Uh huh.
And not only do you witness this and not
I'm.
shoot anybody, but you watch the confrontation go down.
Yeah.
That's
See
what I
that.
don't
And then
understand.
once
I
he
don't think
got
none
through
of this
bashing
makes
his
sense to
skull,
me.
y'all went and attacked him.
And then wait. So not only that, because Pelosi is the one who was supposed to have called the police in the first place.
Hold
So
on.
he
See,
was supposed.
I didn't even read all of this.
Yes. So Pelosi made the 911 call that brought the police to his rescue.
Hmm.
He called them, told them that there was a threatening man in his house on Friday morning. And then the dispatcher, he left the line, set the phone down so that the dispatcher could hear the conversation with the intruder, then making it clear to them that he needed help, right? So then the police come. The police get there. They see them two standing there with the knives and with the hammers in their hand. Ooh, they getting ready to fight. They
Hold
let
on. How long did it take the police to actually get to the house? If you had time to know that somebody was in the house and
it's
y'all
all
the attack still hadn't started prior to the police getting there? Were they
see
waiting to get
now
there?
you want to now
So
you
hold
want to
on.
say
So
that
is
I'm
this being staged? Is this hold on? Now I got a question. Is this being staged? Because you mean to tell me y'all waited till the police got there before the altercation ensued?
that
Yeah, they
part.
sat down and waited. They said, wait, wait, wait. Let's wait. Let's wait till they get here. Let's sit down and wait. Oh, now here they come. Here they come. Get up, get up, get up. Come on. Okay. Now,
But you know AOC got fake arrested, so are they
Who?
staging this? Now I'm not saying that Paul Pelosi didn't get bashed in the head, but I'm just saying maybe that was an accident. Maybe they took acting too far. But that's crazy. I would
Yeah.
like to know how long it took for them to respond from the time they got the call and dispatched out to the time they actually arrived there, because that's interesting.
Yeah, it didn't. So it didn't say. It said that he was threatening his life while demanding to see the wife.
But they didn't get into the altercation until the cops arrived.
No. Oh, this is the guy right here. Hold on. This is the one. This is the hammerer.
That's not a surprising look to me.
at all.
It's not
At
surprising at
all.
all.
At all. Like, okay.
Why am I not shocked?
That's funny. He lived in his mama basement.
Why am I not shocked?
Oh my God. So yeah. So um his stepmother or his mom was married to the suspect stepfather. Um she was married to his stepdad. Living in BC, she told him that he had left the area for California about 20 years ago, and she didn't think he was violent, but he was an aggressive speaker, and they hadn't talked to him He had
They love to say they never would have saw that coming, or I didn't think that they were violent, but there are always signs. Every time you hear one of those stories, you can always go back to the signs.
every time, every time. Well, um, the break-in was reported at 2:27 in the morning. They say they quickly arrived on the scene, but it don't give a time. Um,
Yeah, I would like to know what time that call came in and how long it took them to actually get there, because that's interesting.
mhm.
That two men with a hammer didn't get into fisticuffs until the police got on the scene.
They did go and give another example back in January 2021 when those rioters had ran up in the Capitol looking for Pelosi and tore her office up.
Yeah, but that they was in everyone's office though. It's not like they just singled Nancy out. They was in everybody's office.
Well, they were
They was
screaming.
all over the Capitol.
That's why they were screaming obscenities in her name. So that's why they
But they
said,
were screaming obscenities in Pence's name too, because I distinctly remember hang Mike Pence. I
yeah,
distinctly remember that.
yeah.
I remember that
And
more
they
than
was
I
talking
remember
about her
anything
too
about
that
Pelosi.
day. They was talking about her too that day. Like,
I know, but I'm just saying you can't sit up here and compare that story to this attack, because it's not like they went to the Capitol for Pelosi. That's not what they went to the Capitol for.
Yeah, that's
So
what
to
they.
compare that to say that she was targeted then, everybody that was involved in what they called the stolen election was being targeted. It wasn't specific to
yes.
Nancy.
No, it was
Right.
not. It was
Well, the comment that was made wasn't just specific to Nancy either. It was basically saying that the abuse and the mistreatment and the attacks on political figures has been increasing, and it gave that as one of the examples that it used. It wasn't just basically saying that it was her. It was really giving a general overview, saying that it went from 4,000 to like 9,000. Or wait, I'm gonna go back
Gotcha.
because might be a high number. I might be over here exaggerating.
But as divided as the country is, I mean, and I mean, you got to think about all of the issues that we have in politics right now, and everybody is so emotionally attached to all of them, from abortion to the economy.
Gas prices. Yes.
Okay, inflation, all of that. These interest rates,
inflation,
the mandates, all of it. It's a lot of political discord, and a lot of people are emotionally responding.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are tired of this shit too, unfortunately. Because the Pelosi's have been involved in a lot. The Pelosi's have been involved in quite a few things, and it's a lot of things that Nancy has done that should have outraged people. So, because I was outraged after when John Lewis died, and she did that whole kneeling with that African. I don't know why the melanated community was not pissed off about that. That was disrespectful. Because unless you dress like that every day, don't do that now. That's disrespectful.
They don't care.
It was like putting on a Halloween costume. You don't dress like that every day.
Yeah.
It was a Halloween costume to me.
Yeah, and that pissed me off.
Jumped off up
I
into
was like,
it.
I couldn't believe the community wasn't upset. I should have been outraged about that. That was disrespectful.
They thought she was lit for that.
That was disrespectful.
Look a hot damn mess.
Because if you dress like that and your policies do not go along with the fact that you support us, so that was disrespectful. Again, nothing but symbolism and pretty packages from the Democratic Party.
True.
Too often.
True.
I mean, does anybody give out anything inside of the pretty packages anymore?
No, because it's not like you can just trust the Republicans either, because that's dangerous too. But matter of fact, speaking of Republicans, that's a good segue to the Michigan gubernatorial candidate. She is on one.
The Michigan who?
The Michigan gubernatorial candidate. She is on one. and is basically accusing the Democrats of wanting to enslave Americans again.
These Michigan people.
Ain't it always Michigan people?
Don't do that. Wait a minute.
Michigan. Wait a minute. It's Michigan, not the M. It's Michigan. Give them the ish.
I ain't gonna let them do y'all like that. My fellow Michigan people, I ain't gonna let them do us like that.
That's okay,
Hey.
Michigan folks, calm down. It's okay.
Go blue.
OH. Yo. Yo. I'm just saying. So, But never mind. My bad. Back to the Pelosi.
Y'all gonna lose again this year. How about that?
Who gonna lose?
I don't even know why we even talking about that. What happened to January 6th on them peoples? Can we focus on them?
Hey, we ain't talking about J6.
Exactly.
That's a sham of a show too. I don't know what they got going on.
J6, them politicians talking crazy.
Wait.
I'm just saying like the whole. But the committee, the whole January 6th committee, these hearings is, to me, okay, for what he's being accused of, at nothing else, what do they call that? Dereliction of duty. If nothing else, he's guilty of dereliction of duty. At the worst, you basically can consider him pretty much a traitor. So my thing is this. With everything that they claim they have on him, on what happened on J6, what he was responsible for, what he ensued, why is this? Where are the charges at? Because
exactly, that's what I'm waiting on.
That's my problem. If you're only doing it for an emotional response and to basically make it difficult for him to be on the ticket in 2024, it makes you look guilty, like you have something to hide, or like you're afraid to run against him. That's what it looks like. Because if he's guilty of the things you say he's guilty of, where are the charges?
Run them.
That's all I'm saying. Because people have been locked up for less. People have been locked up for less.
That's all I've been saying. Run it. What is we playing for? Run them. Because he got so many on him. Like what? You ain't got enough money in the world.
But is the problem that none of it can be proven? Or is this just a bunch of political play just basically to get up under everybody's skin and get everybody emotionally enraged?
What's proven is that he did have them in his house. He did have documents in his house. He did have illegal documents in his house. Can we just start there?
Part, but that ain't got nothing to do with J6.
Oh, he the one that did the whole J6. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have did that. Like
my problem is, if the Dems are right in everything that they're saying he did, then where are the charges? To me, it looks like they're doing it for an emotional response to let everybody know, oh, he's so bad, only to make it difficult for him to put his name in the running for 2024. And if that's the only reason why you're doing it, then then basically what you said is no one else should be locked up for anything else. Because if a sitting president of the United States of America can actually invoke whatever they want to call it, an insurrection, if a president can invoke an insurrection on American soil and no charges are brought against him, nobody else should be locked up for shit. Period.
Yeah, pretty much. I could definitely agree with that. Because hell, this dude did a whole against the whole United States.
Where the charges at? Other than that, y'all doing it for an emotional response just to make it difficult for him to run, which makes Democrats look guilty.
And we don't need no damn emotional response. We need his ass where he need to be. Period. Point blank.
That's what they do best. Just like Biden ran an entire political campaign on racial divide and racial disparities in America and a defund the police mantra just to get up there on day 100 and say America's not a racist country. So they get us emotionally aroused just to say, we'll address y'all's issues later. Just like Obama. When Obama was running, one of the things that he claimed he was going to do, they were going to codify Roe, right? Well, that's how he got Planned Parenthood to back him. As soon as he got in there, he said, you know what? That's not at the top of my list. I'll get to that later. So the Democrats have a history of getting you emotionally attached to their political agenda just to tell you we're not doing that right now. And they've always done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen, and they've even brought along some assistance this time.
Okay. But yeah.
They went all the way hard. Now, if you was gonna go find anybody to represent you, that's definitely the one, because everybody's gonna listen to him. That was like, oh my God. So by him, I'm talking about Obama and how he's going to hit this campaign trail in order to be able to help the Democrats.
Right. And I think that's for emotional response too, but we'll talk about that later. We'll get into that. Oh, you did go to this. And I thought you was going to the Michigan.
Yeah, he's supposed to be going to
we can't hear you,
I'm about to let y'all talk about my people. No.
What you talking about, gangbanger?
I don't know what's wrong.
What you said, Rock?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm over here like, y'all ain't about to talk about my people.
I thought you was going to the Michigan governor.
Yeah, no, not yet. Well, we were talking about the Democrats and using the little tactics that they use. So I jumped on this one real quick so that we can just get this one out the way, and let everybody know that dearly beloved Obama was jumping the bandwagon. Yeah. And he was going to Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nevada in order to be able to talk to the people, right? And he's just helping them. That's the reinforcement they're utilizing in order to be able to headline a rally. The Democrats are bringing in him and helping with the campaigns for Warnock and Stacey Abrams.
That's another thing interesting about Miss Stacey Abrams. Did you hear about what's his
how
name?
do y'all feel about Obama jumping in?
Wait a minute, I missed that.
Roxy probably can't hear us or she's got a delay. But yeah, did you hear about Al Sharpton making a statement saying that Black men are insecure if they can't support or get behind Stacey Abrams?
I can hear you. I hadn't said anything.
Oh, no.
No, you got a delay because I said that a long time ago. You got a delay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard that. Is it because I'm doing these screens? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It's just delayed.
Can you hear me now? No? Y'all can hear me?
Rox, we can hear you. It's just delayed.
Oh, slow rolling.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Oh, even when I'm not struggle streaming, I'm struggle streaming. It's fine.
Or drop it down and come back.
So, well, this one I'm actually getting ready to close out so that we can move on forward and talk about the next one.
Well, before you close that out, though, what's interesting about this is I feel like this is another looking for an emotional response. So think about the image that resonates when President Obama is who you send out to represent all of the Democrats that are currently running for the midterms, right? When you have a sitting president that is a Democrat. So the sitting president that is a Democrat cannot go out and vouch for or support the Democratic candidates that are running in all these Senate races, but yet and still Obama can. So it's like it's like when they want the black vote back because they know a lot of the melanated community is not really feeling Biden in some of his policies. So when you want to get the black community back, you throw Obama in our faces. That's how I feel about it. I feel like Obama's being thrown in our face just to get the black vote back. Because why is the current president, who happens to be a Democrat, not out here on the campaign trail to support the Democrats and their agenda?
Yeah, he said he didn't have time for
Roxy,
that.
you may
Plus,
have to
that wasn't going to work.
You may have to drop out and come back because you sound like kind of like a robot.
Do I?
No, now you sound great.
Okay.
I was about to say, now you sound fine.
Okay.
That's weird.
But I think it's mine, you guys. I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm walking in a whole different side of the house. Like, I don't know what's going on because she did sound like a robot, but I thought it was just me.
Say something, Rox. Okay, see, now there's no delay. Now you're good.
Okay. Well, sweet.
But yeah, that's how I feel about Obama out there on the campaign trail for Democrats. I'm like, you got a sitting president that's a Democrat. I'm not understanding why they throwing Obama out there like that.
Melanated. We need melanated people out here to hit the trenches for more melanated people to vote for him, to vote for people around him.
But it's just a political ploy to get the emotional response from the black community.
Absolutely.
That's all it is. So if you really put forth policies that benefit us, how is that not the approach to getting our vote as opposed to just dangling a carrot in front of our faces every single election season?
I don't eat no damn
And
carrot.
Obama is now the ultimate Democratic carrot.
But why change what works though? Because if I've been doing this and pulling strings and throwing carrots out there to horses all these years and getting what I want, and it ain't hurt me since.
But it's about to stop working. It's about to stop. What they're doing now. So prior to
true that
recently, we didn't have all this big data, all this social media, everything at the palm of your hands. You basically the world of knowledge is in the palm of your hands now. Right. So now because of what happened in 2020, because of the 2016 elections, because of the 2020 elections, more people, and because you shut down the economy in 2020, more people started doing more reading. They're watching more news. And so now you got people who are becoming aware of the things that have happened in the past where we didn't pay attention to politics, because most people our age just kind of went out and voted straight Democrat or straight Republican without being as involved in political candidates or politics at all. We didn't watch news stories on politics. We didn't watch debates. We just kind of just voted and had no idea who we were voting for. So using Obama as a carrot in the melanated community, I don't think that's going to continue to work, because now people have started to identify that Obama didn't do as much for us as he should have, or that they would have expected. And even if you did support Obama, even if he's still your favorite president, even if you like the idea that we had a black president, there's still the idea that there is this detachment thing going on between the black community and Democrats, because all the policies that they set forth has been detrimental to the black community. The crime bill, who did it hurt the most? It hurt us. Biden. Just like when we talk the Voting Rights Act. For a lot of you who don't know, while it's so important for the melanated community to get out there and vote, a lot of you don't even know that the black community doesn't even have an indefinite right to vote in America. In 2006, President Bush extended the Voting Rights Act of 1865 for 25 years. So in 2031, that expires. But you know what? Every time the Voting Rights Act was extended, it was extended by a Republican president. But we're running up here voting Democrat, and now they dangling Obama in front of our faces for the emotional response.
Don't go for the okie doke. Do your research. I don't know what city, state y'all from, but do y'all's research. And a lot of these now, but hold on. But I do want to say, and I do know a lot of people like to watch these commercials. I do want to let y'all know, don't be fooled by these commercials. These commercials is off the hook. Okay. You got people like, these commercials is throwing me like, hold on, wait a minute. I thought he said he wasn't a Trump. Wait a minute.
I'm like, nah. This dude already said he wasn't a Trump supporter. Then all of a sudden he is a Trump supporter because he ended up getting his support from him to run his, you know what I mean, his campaign. So you guys just got to be mindful. Just watch what don't pay attention to all these commercials. Listen to these people and what they saying, what they talking about.
Right. You can pull up bills that they propose. You can Google that. If you can Google how many grams is in an ounce, you can Google some information on these politicians that you up here voting for that are altering your life. They alter your abilities. They alter your finances. They alter your future. They alter your
your
taxes.
freedom.
They alter everything, every aspect of your life. And you're just running down to the polls, blindly voting for anybody because your mama and your grandmama was a Democrat or a Republican, whatever the case may be. But I don't like them dangling Obama in front of the melanated community just because you're trying to get the black vote. If you want to get the black vote, earn the damn black vote and stop giving us empty promises and symbolism because that's all they've done.
But I noticed they do a lot for other different nationalities.
We haven't stepped up and said that we weren't going to accept that.
True.
We haven't stepped up and said no more. We're not accepting that. We don't want this. Okay, this is what we want. We have come together, band together, made any moves. And like he said, black faces ain't for nothing more than to get the black attention. They see Obama up there and they know, oh, okay, Obama with the Democrats. Now I'm with the Democrats. And that's how that's going to go.
Say that. That's exactly how they plan it.
Hey, but that's the same thing I said on yesterday's video about Ye. I'm not mad at the Jewish community for having a zero tolerance policy. I wish we had one.
Hello. Say that.
Yeah.
I wish we had a no nonsense policy.
We need a zero tolerance policy too. Stop letting everybody else dictate your narrative.
The majority of the policies of ours is like smoke drinking,
party drinking bullshit.
Yeah, that part.
That's what's wrong with us. That's why they like shit. We can get them as much money because they're going to end up spending it on all of our things. So they will always be broke because they live to be broke. I want all this. You want all these materialistic things. At the end of the day, you ain't got a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of, but you got all the new. All the new.
Listen, he said he hit it on with that abortion too, Speaking on abortion, what about pro-life Hershel Walker?
Hold on, before we get off into that, never mind.
Is that the dude with all the abortions? He tell all his friends, girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, escapades and sescapades. He said, hey, I got money on them.
Money on them.
I got money for your plan B, because your plan B, here, I got something for you. Here you go.
Said that boy sent her a get well card.
Yes, he did.
Savage. Said he want to ban abortion.
With the funds though.
Sent her over there with the money. Said that he wanted to completely ban abortion, liking it to murder, claiming there should be no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of a mother. No exceptions. But he made an exception for himself.
But that's a lot of misogynistic men. Men are most of those men. They all matter of fact, and they believe a woman should be what? In the kitchen, not doing nothing, not saying nothing, not, you know what I'm saying, not running nothing.
But the thing is, though, how can you say that? And then in 2009, you pressured this girl to get an abortion. And then when she went and got the abortion, you give her the money back for it. Gave her the receipt. He gave her the receipt, gave her the check for a little bit more than what she paid for it and a get well soon card.
Well,
hey, as far as I'm concerned, I hadn't seen them allegations. But I'm not saying that he hasn't. I'm pretty sure.
Is that what you just said?
But I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he sponsored a couple. I'm pretty sure. That don't surprise me.
Said it was the right
time. But then if we gonna say that, then you telling me ain't no other man, no other that and there, no other man did that?
Plenty of men do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, what is we talking about?
So it was just one of those. This is one of those commercials.
Right. One of these commercials, like really,
He was
the one
talking
that
about
paid for the commercial.
he
Right.
thought
The one that probably paid for the commercial probably.
he is with other people. She said he was being a hypocrite. He didn't let her keep her baby, and he got rid of her baby, and then she ended up finding out he had a baby somewhere else. So, yes, they do. A lot of people were saying that it wasn't true, that it was a fake story, that we were just focusing on Black conservatives, and the story was false. That it's a flat out lie. That's what Walker said. It's a flat out lie. It's a defamatory lie. It's not true. So,
But all he did
they
was
said
give
the
her the money, though.
family was like, every family member of Hershel Walker asked him not to run for office because we all knew some of his past. Every single one of the family asked him not to do it. He gave us the middle finger and told us to air out all his dirty laundry in public while simultaneously lying about it. So she pulled out the receipt.
As you know.
She had pulled that receipt out for $575 for the abortion. It took place September 12th, 2009. He wrote her a check. She got the check from Bank of America with the deposit receipt that he wrote her for $700 on September 17th. She deposited to her account 2 days later, saying that the card said, just rest and relax and recover.
So, but at the end of the day, he didn't make her. He didn't take her. He didn't.
Nope.
Hey,
Okay.
and at the
He
end of
didn't
the
make her.
day,
He didn't
I'm not
make her.
saying-
He didn't take her
Listen.
to do that. So you can give me money to do
is
anything
that the
you want
get
me to
well
do.
card? That's supposed to be the get well card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the card. The get well card. All
But
the
at the
best.
end
A
of the
get
day,
well card could be a get. No, that can't be it.
it don't. My thing is,
Oh, okay.
yet
I
and
guess
still,
it is. I guess it is. But a get well card could be for anything. And
exactly.
Yeah.
from my understanding, even though you have a get well card and you may have a check, if on that check, I ain't seen the check, but if on that check where it says for, if it don't say abortion, I don't know what this $700 check was for. Because from what I understand, the only person that corroborated her story was a girlfriend that she told at the time. So back in 2009, when she supposedly had the abortion, and that she was the one who I guess took care of her during that time after she had the procedure or whatever. But if that's the case, and that's your homegirl. Now, I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm saying the potential does exist. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. But my thing is, he didn't take you. He gave you funds.
Right? So you can't say he made you.
Exactly. He didn't make you.
And offered to pay for it.
Exactly. He didn't make you and he didn't take you. So at the end of the day, you made that choice yourself to do what you had to do for your body yourself. So at the end of the day, she made that choice.
Right.
Because you could still have a baby. You could still have that baby and never speak to that man if that's what you chose to do, if you really wanted that baby. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take her. He didn't hold her hand. He didn't have no gun. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no gun. He wasn't holding her hostage. You went, you took the money, you went and did it. And now you saying something about what you did. Yeah, he might have paid for it, but this is what you did though.
But see, I was seeing something where they were talking about, so even in this story, they were saying he got 4 babies by 4 different women. But if you Google his son, he ain't got but 1 kid. And he was paying from what I understand, he's paying $3,500 a month for that child, for that 1 kid.
So if he got 4, where they at?
His baby.
Well, they claim he got 4 kids by 4 different women. That's the claim. 4 kids, 4 different women. But from what I understand, he's on child support for a child, was paying $3,500 a month, and according to the mother, he last saw the child in 2016, and the $3,500 a month is equivalent to 1% of his income. That's what they was complaining about. But for me, you can complain about that all you want, but who the hell? It doesn't cost $3,500 to raise a child, because if it did, none of us would be here. Because none of our parents would have been able to afford to raise us if it cost $3,500 a month to raise a child.
So that's just about wants, and they setting their child up with different wants that they might want.
Exactly.
Right.
My thing, is because they, I get he on child support for one. He can have a whole bunch of them. Apparently, the wife's supposed to be harboring his love children, making sure that they don't come out and making sure it don't come out about it for with their family. And rumors spread here, there, everywhere. They were basically bringing it out to say that he was lying. He was a liar just to defame his character and say that he is not the man who he claims to be, a God-fearing, wholesome man who loves his family and his kids and feels like abortion is wrong. He's been devout and saying that he don't agree with abortion and all of that. So they wanted to bring all of this stuff out so that they could basically defame that and say that that's not true of him. That he was out here getting rid of his own babies and he could get away with it for himself, but he don't want it for the world.
And I feel that. But you also have to consider the source. Now, like I'm saying, I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm saying the potential exists because you also have to consider that. So he came out and said, so she said that he hadn't seen his son since 2016, the one he paying $3,500 a month for. But in the child support order, he has no visitation rights. So you don't get to complain that he hasn't seen his son since 2016 if the current child support order says he has no visitation rights. So
Ding, ding, ding.
For me, that goes back to women wanting to play victim all the time and come up with all these grandiose stories about deadbeat dads that couldn't be further from the truth. She also made a statement that, so apparently this woman that came out, or I don't know if it's two that came out, I thought, but apparently this woman that came out, she got pregnant from him twice. The first baby, he convinced her to have an abortion. The second baby, she didn't want to have an abortion. She decided that she was going to keep it. Now, she stated that she told him at the time she told him she was pregnant, that if you don't want to be involved, you don't have to be. You can be whatever type of father you want. If you want to be here, you can be here. If you don't. But yet and still, you collecting $3,500 a month and acting like that ain't enough. But I thought you said if you don't want to be here, you don't have to. So where the hell did child support come from?
Oh, no, that was
Because if I tell a man I'm pregnant and tell him if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be, that means if you're not here physically, I don't need you financially.
Yeah.
Because
the
physical presence is what's going to have an impact on my child, not these new Jordans.
Right. But the financial does assist.
Right.
If you tell a man.
Right. But even she stated that she told him at the time that he didn't have to be involved, but you getting $3,500 a month in child support and complaining that that's only 1% of his income. But you said he didn't have to stick around.
Yeah, you got to, say what you want to say. Do what you're going to do now. You got to be upfront about it.
What's up, Lexi? What's up, World Class? But yeah, that's just crazy to me. That doesn't make any sense. So it's not, like I said, I'm not saying that she's fibbing. What I am saying is that the potential exists because there are other holes in her story. That's what I'm saying.
I totally understand you.
Because a $700 check and a get well card proves absolutely nothing. And if the only other person corroborating your story is a girlfriend that supposedly was there for you after the procedure.
Listen. I don't, for real. He could have changed his mind after the fact. That was in 2009.
True. That's true too.
There you go. That man could have turned his whole life around from then.
Exactly. So
he felt like, he could have felt like that then. I'm young, I ain't ready for no kids, blah, blah, blah. Now he could mature and feel like, no, I want my family, I want my kids. That's something that people make mistakes.
Exactly.
And how do you blame a man for that when women have been allowed to do it? For 50 years, abortion was federally protected, which means you could decide at any moment in time whether you wanted to be a parent or negate your parental responsibilities when you got pregnant. So if he did that, what's the difference? And then, so when you're in your college years, you decide that you're going to have drunken weekends and got pregnant a couple times and you ran your butt down to the clinic and had your little abortion cocktail, you was good to go. Now that you're 30 and settled, now you want to have a baby, but nobody gets to hold that over your head.
Right. Or what about all them Plan B pills you took? Don't play with me.
Right. Okay. I was about to say, don't forget about the pill in general. Like, you could take a pill in general. That's a what if. That was a what if. Or maybe I could have been, but you done took the pill. It don't even matter no more.
Right. So, like I said, I'm not saying she's lying, but you do have to consider the allegations that are being made. And she could be telling the truth, but she's definitely bitter. Because for you to complain that $3,500 a month of unearned income, tax-free dollars, not to mention you get tax breaks on that tax-free money, for you to complain that that was only 1% of his income, that's some gall. That's all I got to say. Because you didn't have to work for it.
And
you don't have to claim it.
And was serious.
Oh yeah, of course she was serious.
Come on now. I don't want to do none of that.
That's why she's sad and in her feelings. But
Oh,
it's cool.
It's not gonna let you. Yo, New York Times be tripping. New York Times, they be funny about their articles.
All of them do. After a while, they like, listen, you're gonna have to pay to play. Hey.
Okay.
They is not going.
Who was that? Which one was that?
Bust my little bubbles. The second woman for Walker.
That was the second woman that accused him of paying for an abortion.
Yeah.
But hey, that doesn't surprise me though. That doesn't surprise me. There are a lot of men who have sponsored abortions, but you don't get to complain about a man sponsoring abortion when 63 million women ran their butt down to the clinic and gladly had one.
Well.
So if you currently have women that are out fighting for the right to an abortion, where do you get off condemning a man for sponsoring one?
Listen.
I say the same thing, especially if he didn't take you down, you decided to go. Like, you make that choice at the end of the day by yourself. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's something different. But back in the day, you made that choice by yourself. You didn't have to have no approval. And what you did was go down there. Yes, he gave you the money. You went down there so you can continue to spend time with him or see him or however you want to do it, whatever you did it for, you went down there to go do it. He might have gave you the money, but you still did it. I know quite a few females be like, okay, thank you for the money that's going on the diapers or whatever, but deuces, like they keeping their baby.
Hey, I know females that have lied about being pregnant just so they can convince him to give them abortion sponsor money.
That too.
I know women who do that.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Plenty of satty females.
Right.
So get it together. So who that?
Yeah. Well, this one right here.
That's Rafael Warnock. That's the Democratic candidate.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Facing off against Hershel Walker.
So what he talking about? What's going on?
Basically,
from what I understand, he wants one of the things he wants is abortion for all. Oh no, go to the story first, then go to the fact check.
Fact check.
Well, it don't matter. It don't matter. No, you're good.
Did it?
Can you hear us, Rob?
I was like, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, but I think you got a delay again.
My God. So, you said before I do this one, go to the fact. Before I do the fact check.
It was cool. You could have kept it up.
Let me stop my screen sharing real quick. Okay, hold on, y'all.
I think the story's got like a
I got this.
Probably like a 45-second video.
Warnock attack. Hold on. Is this the right one? I hate that I can't see this. Warnock's ex-wife takes legal action.
I don't know. Might be.
Okay, here.
Is that because he ran over her foot?
No. So there's another one. So the first story was a story where she accused him of running over his foot. And of course, PolitiFact decided to fact check that. What's crazy about it is they were saying that there was no evidence that her foot got ran over. And from what I understand, he's the one that called the police. So if you got your foot ran over, why is it that you weren't the ones who called the police? Because from my understanding, they got into a verbal disagreement. And I guess because he come over there to pick up the kids or something like that, and whatever they were arguing about, I guess he's trying to leave. She's in the driveway. According to the story that she gave, he actually backed up and tried to run over her foot. Now, whether that's true or not, they said they didn't find any evidence, no bruising, no damage to her foot, no nothing, right? And my thing is this. I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm not saying that he did. I have no idea. I haven't seen any proof that the man ran over her foot or that he didn't. But my thing is this. If we're having a heated discussion and I decide that I'm going to exit stage left because for whatever reason, whether I just don't want to deal with this today, whether I'm trying to protect you, whether I'm trying to protect me, whatever the case may be, if I decide to walk away in some form of fashion, that is a form of surrender. So if I'm walking away and you keep coming at me, so if he actually made it to his car, that means she followed him to his car. And if he crunk his car up and put the gear in reverse, that means he had every intention on leaving. If you were close enough that you got your foot ran over, that means you were pursuing this man while he was trying to walk away. And if I got my backup lights on, you know for a fact I'm trying to leave and you stand behind my car, in my opinion, that's between you and God. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
You just gonna be a little backup speed bump in the road.
Hey, if I'm trying to leave because we're having a heated discussion and I don't want to deal with this, and you continue to pursue me, and I'm getting in my car and I crank it up and my reverse lights are on, and you stand back there with the intent for me to not leave, you're trying to hold me hostage. That's between you and God. That's a decision you made, and I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's all I'm saying.
I
So
think
if
she
he did run over her foot,
but I think she was probably beside the car trying to yell at him in the window, and he just might have. But you
but if
too
he
close to
made
the
it to
car.
his car, if he made it to his car and she was close enough to get her foot ran over, it still means that she was in pursuit of him because she followed him to his car.
Absolutely, she was definitely. But nonetheless, there's no evidence, no nothing. So I mean, it's one word against another word with no evidence of your foot being bruised, broken, anything. So
Right. And he, like I said, according to the story, he's the one that called the police. So he runs over your foot with the intent to cause harm, and he's the one that called the police. It's a lot of stuff about this story that didn't make sense to me. I mean, it just didn't make sense. If you run over my foot, I'm probably likely should be the one that calls the police, right?
you should.
So for me, it's just like, but according to PolitiFact, they said that didn't happen. But this was supposed to be another story where she was actually filing for a change in custody orders. So I'm guessing she's wanting full custody and wanting to flee the state to pursue her education or something like that.
Pursue her life.
Yeah. She was saying that he failed to reimburse her for childcare costs and left her financially strapped. And after he ran her foot over, she was basically saying he was a great actor. He's out here raising money for his campaign using that Act Blue fundraising platform. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. And while he's using the platform, you know, that platform has a company policy where they won't host candidates or causes on their site that are linked to any sexual or domestic violence. So basically, she brought that out to put an end to his political career. She was telling them that he was raising money for his politics. He's ignoring the financial needs of his kids, and they need to stop allowing him to be able to do that and hold him accountable to his standard, to their standards. And if they don't take on domestic violence or sexual abuse, why are they funding him, letting him raise money on their platform, and he not taking care of his family, mistreating his kids, and running over her foot? It's
But they said there's no proof of it.
Domestic violence case on him?
Only because of the story of him running over her foot, which They
Is
said there
there
was no
actual
proof of it.
but there's an actual domestic violence case?
I don't
Or
think so. I think it's the
No.
allegation of him running over her foot.
exactly. It just sounds like it's more of an allegation of her saying it. So technically, what you're stating is to assume he has all these, which he doesn't. You want us to assume and stop campaigning because we're assuming he has domestic
But
violence and
go
not
back
doing.
up, Roxy.
I'm lost.
Yeah, but
And
go
we're
back up.
not
I
taking
want
care
to
of his
start
kids.
at
That's not.
right there. Where it's got Warnock's ex-wife takes legal action.
Ooh, y'all have to be worried about the wrong thing.
So yeah. So U.S. Senator Rafael Warnock's ex-wife, she is actually seeking to make changes to the child custody orders. So basically, she's saying that he's in willful contempt, and they always want to throw that up there. Of the agreement as she attempts to move outside of Georgia. So you basically just want to be able to move, and you want to use the fact that he's in willful contempt in order for you to be able to do what you want to do. That's another thing that a lot of women don't understand too about child support. Typically, once you have a child support order on somebody, one of the clauses or circumstances around that is that only applies to the current county or city or state that you reside in. If you happen to move, those child support orders are not going to apply in another state, and new orders will have to be filed. So a lot of people limit their ability, their flexibility in moving when they do have a lot of those child support orders too, because they have everything to do with where the child resides. And you mess around trying to advance your career, you move to a state that isn't as gracious with child support as the previous state that you were in. Now you mad because you taking a cut in child support, and now all of a sudden he's at fault because you can't sustain a lifestyle that you were pursuing.
I don't know. I done seen
So
people still get I done seen people still get a certain type of child support no matter where they at. So I don't know how that
true.
works.
Because a lot of them
Just
aren't
that.
following up
Just
on what
that.
she's
Because a lot
doing.
of
Because
counties,
that's because she's never in contempt, and he always is.
right? And I know a lot of counties, a lot of states. I know Ohio definitely have their law, and they like, listen, I don't care where you go, our law is stated, period, point blank. So you can get the divorce. I mean, the separation and the child decree and so on and so forth from our county. We'll give it to whatever state and wherever you go, because that's what we're going to adhere to, period, point blank. So I don't know, maybe other states, but I know Ohio is very strict. They like, nah.
They not in the best interest of the child or the dad.
Okay. But yeah, so the 11-page filing, she's basically asking the judge to grant her the additional custody so that she can go to Harvard University and complete a program.
Oh, wow.
And basically, right. So it also asks for his child support payments to be recalculated because according to her, he got a salary increase. I think it was $174,000 annual increase. So of course, with the annual increase,
Oh.
right. So
Jump
because he's
She
anyway.
making
wants him to pay for her schooling and
that's
everything.
exactly what it is, because the cost of child, and that's another thing that's another issue I have with child support. If we're talking about the interests of a child and fathers being responsible, just just responsible, because the only requirement is to provide the basic needs. I mean, you're required to provide roof, shelter, all that other type of stuff, right? So if that's the case, then why is child support payments based off of an individual's income? In some states, only the non-custodial parent's income is calculated. There are some states where they calculate both, but some states only actually calculate one parent, which is the non-custodial income, into child support payments. And I don't care if you make $5 an hour or $500 an hour, the cost of milk and Pampers is the same. So the cost of raising a child is universal. It might change geographically. Like one state may have higher cost of living than another state. One county may have a higher cost of living. And in those situations, I understand why child support payments might be different. But you notice how when COVID happened and they were sending out those checks to everybody, what did the government say that your child was worth? They gave them $600. Was it $500 or $600? It was $500, right?
500 the first time. Yeah.
$500 check. How many checks did they give out? 2?
They gave out 3.
For the kids. It was
3.
2, right?
It was 3.
Was it 3?
Mm-hmm.
So $600, $500 one time. What were the other 2 amounts?
The 500 the first time for the kids, 600 the second time, and the third time 1400.
Okay, 1,400.
Mm-hmm.
But the 1,400 one that included the early. Well, that was the early tax deductions and stuff, right? It wasn't just strictly COVID relief money, was
No,
it?
yeah,
No,
no.
that was COVID.
So they got the 1400 for
I'm talking
stimulus.
about that was designated specifically for the kids. I thought there
Oh,
were two specifically for the kids
it was one
because adults because
just
the first
one
time adults got
for
1,200 and
kids.
kids got 500.
Right. And then the second time everybody got 600. And then the third
Okay.
everybody got 1400.
Okay. So there was 1,400 for the adult and for the kids.
Yep.
And that was over the course of what, a year and a half or a 2-year time span, right?
Yep.
Okay, so over the course of a year and a half, your child was worth $1,500 according to the U.S. government. But this woman getting 3,500. Well, not this woman, but Hershel Walker's ex-wife getting or baby mama getting $3,500 a month in child support and complaining that that's not enough. But when the government was issuing checks, your child was worth $1,500 over the course, or I'm sorry, look, what, $2,200 over the course of a year and a half. A year and a half, that's what feeding your child costs if they had to pay for it. So the cost of actually raising a child shouldn't alter unless it's by the cost of living in particular states, counties, country, whatever the case may be. But outside of that, just based off of his income, especially when you got people running around having check babies intentionally. So you just because he got a raise, your cost in your household don't increase because he got a raise.
And that's
you should ask. Now, I understand if you got some additional costs, like say you had a 1-bedroom home, you got pregnant, maybe you done had some twins, or you got 2 kids by God, they need say you got to upgrade. I get it. If you have to upgrade your life, I can see why you may want to pursue that because your costs have increased. However, him getting a raise does not increase your cost of raising a child in your home. So why does him having a raise have any impact on you pursuing additional funds for child support? Because that has nothing to do with your costs changing.
Because she said that he was doing better and she needed him to do better for them kids.
Right, for her and them kids.
But you're making this, but her allegation is that he's not here. He doesn't take care of the kids. When you stated yourself that you asked for a raise just because he got one.
Right.
And you're going to spend that money on your Harvard program and not those kids.
Exactly.
So again, I'm not saying that he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong. What I am saying is you got to consider the source.
And look at everything, because baby.
Well,
got that baby mama syndrome.
And then she claimed she was seeking financial reimbursement for the times that he was supposed to have the child and couldn't pick him up because his Senate duties called him. Okay, he was working. How you get reimbursed because somebody was working? Reimbursed for what? Hold on. You want to get reimbursed? You want him to pay you what he would have spent on the child had the child stayed with him? That's what your child support is for anyway.
No, she wanted to say because she know that he racking up over there at that church.
Exactly.
Right. But she actually stated that she wanted reimbursement for the time that he was supposed to have the child and he couldn't come through because of his Senate duties. So you want to be paid for babysitting your kids, basically. It was your weekend and I had to watch them, so you got to pay me. But when you get when child support payments are set up, it's based on this child staying with you for the month. The monthly payment is for the entire 31 calendar day month that child is with you. Because even in 50-50 custody cases, the men are still paying child support. So if the child is with you half of the time and with the mother half of the time, why is he still paying child support? Neither one of you should be paying child support in that case because we're both supporting the child for 15 days out of the month. But you want extra money for the times that you had to babysit when he couldn't babysit. So now women want to be paid for babysitting their kids. That's what we're doing. We can't hear you, Rox.
I said, nah, if she get that off, I'ma know
I want
something.
money. I
But
want some
she will.
money. I want
You
money
know
for
she will.
mine. I've been babysitting. Like, wait a minute. What do you call this? Babysit taxes? What is this?
Right? Hey,
Like
all
what?
I'm saying
Wait
is,
a minute.
look, Warnock and Herschel might not like each other, but Warnock may need to get with Herschel because from what I understand, Herschel Walker's child support order is even though he's paying $3,500 a month, I heard that it also comes with a few clauses like no other future payments. So once whatever this deadline is, that's it. No college costs and no cost of living adjustments. That's what I heard is in his child support order.
I know that's right. No cost.
Okay, so Warnock, you might not like Hershey, but you might need to go holler at him about his child support orders since your ex-wife currently asking for more money. I'm just saying.
Like, hey, bro, how you get? Who do I need to talk to like you just talked to so I can get that?
Okay, yeah,
That
because I heard
man.
you got in there no college costs, no cost of living adjustments, none of that.
Yeah, because women want to upgrade themselves when they BD or whoever upgrading themselves. They trying to make it in the world too. They trying to keep up with that status. That ain't your status no more, boo boo.
Right.
You got to live on your status now.
That's why I say child support is nothing more than a transfer of wealth. That's all it is, and it might not be wealth, but it's definitely a transfer of funds. That's it.
Call it what you want. We all know it's to each his own on the child support game.
Nisi, don't fight with me today.
I know. It's to each his own on that game, cause honey, I
But
ain't
it's
saying
not. But you know what, Nisi? It's not that I'm against men taking care of their children. I'm against the system of child support because they don't give a fuck about them kids.
absolutely not at
The
all. But
system
guess
doesn't
what?
give two dams about your kids.
But
Everyone is making.
if somebody else gotta make you do what you don't want to do, that tells me you don't give a fuck neither.
But you can say that equally about women who went out and had abortions because an abortion is nothing more than negating your parental responsibilities once you get pregnant. That's all it is. So why do we
Okay,
keep pointing a
listen.
finger at
I can care
him?
less. Listen, I can care less about abortions. You get them, you get them. You don't, you don't. You
I
will,
feel
you
you on
will.
that.
You don't, you won't. You want somebody to pay for the shit? Go ahead and do the GoFundMe. Do whatever you got to do to get whatever you need to get what you need to get done. Everybody has their own choice. Everybody got their own life. You got to deal with it at the end of the day. Look at my TT baby. But everybody
Okay.
got to deal with that. I know she's so pretty. Ah! But everybody got to deal with that at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, when it comes to taking care of your seed, if you put in on it, you know it is born, you know it is living and breathing. I don't see how you cannot want to help put in on your own seed. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying? Like,
can. The reason why is because what if you okay, you go tell a guy you're pregnant and he says, well, I'm not ready to have kids, right? But you being
true,
who you are, I'm not saying you, I'm just talking
true,
about women
true.
in general
That's a
or
true
any woman.
statement. That's a true statement because they
Right.
turn around and do it
Right,
anyway.
because they do that, and a woman will decide, well, she wants to keep the baby anyway for whatever reason. If whether it's because of her belief, whether it's because
Cool.
she's anti-abortion, whether it's
Yo,
because she wants to try to come up on a check baby, regardless
yo.
of the reason, she makes the decision to have it anyway. Now,
Right. That is
when
not
you
that
make the
man's
decision to
issue
have
at all.
right,
That's
when
not
you
that
make
man's
the decision
problem.
to have it, exactly, you can go put him on child support and force him into parental responsibility.
And
But
that is
what if
absolutely
that
wrong.
same story, she goes tell him she's pregnant. He says, I want you to have the baby. She says, I'm not having no baby because it's going to mess up my college. It's going to mess up my career. It's going to mess up my body, whatever the case may be. He doesn't have a say so in that. So if nobody can make her be responsible for her parental obligations, then no
Mhm.
one should be able to point a finger at him when he decides he just doesn't want to be here. Maybe he told you he didn't want to be here. And even if you consider after the fact, because you got
Mhm.
women that say, well, he said he was going to be here, and then 6 months after the child get here, he ups and walks away. Okay, I
Right.
get that too. I
Mhm.
feel you on that. But at the
Right.
same time, same woman has a baby.
Yo.
He's coming around. He's an active father. She
Mhm.
decides this is too much for me. She can take said baby, drop him off at a safe haven without the father's permission or blessing, and nobody bats an eye. So mom can walk away whenever she wants, but we want to point fingers at dad because he walks away.
Nah, but if dad want the baby, hey, he go back and get that baby because they gonna have to figure
That's
out
not, it's no, they
who that
can't.
baby
No, they
belongs
can't.
to.
No,
They
they
gonna try to
cannot.
figure out who that
No,
baby
they
belongs
cannot.
to at the end of the day.
No, they cannot. Do you know that in some states
Hey,
it
but
is
it's
legal
all
for a woman to give up a child for adoption without consulting the father? Matter of fact, it's
Yeah.
not even required by law that you tell anybody that you're pregnant. So, say you get pregnant and you don't tell a man you're pregnant, and you just decide you're gonna have the baby, you never tell him shit. So, a lot of men out here don't know that they're
Yes,
fathers.
there is.
So then you decide 6 months later, I don't want to keep this baby because he was never made aware. Of course, his name is not on the birth certificate. So you've
Exactly.
given this man's child up without his knowledge and without his blessing
That's something
because you're
totally
not
different.
required by law to divulge that information.
True.
So you don't get to point a finger at him for walking away at any stage when women have always been able to walk away at any stage. And when she does it, we call her brave. When a woman has an abortion, you say, oh, that was one of the toughest decisions she had to make. She had to be strong. She was brave. When a woman gives a child up and
Yes,
drop off into safe haven, she made the best decision for her. She was struggling, but nobody feels that way when dad walks away.
hey,
I feel
dad
that.
gotta be able to speak. I feel it, but dad gotta be able to speak on his behalf. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to speak. That's why I
Yeah,
don't
that's
ever
my
talk
problem
about
I
this.
have with it. Men should support their kids. I wholeheartedly agree. It takes two to make them, but yet and still, women only want to hold on to it takes two when it comes to finances. It don't take two all of a sudden when it comes to the abortion conversation. When we're deciding if life is brought into the world, it don't take two to make that decision. But all of
Listen,
a sudden,
Hey,
it take two financially. Nah,
listen.
you don't get to have it both ways.
It don't take two in any other circumstance. What do you mean? It don't take two in religion. It don't take two in what this baby gonna eat, or what this baby gonna wear, or what this baby gonna learn, or what school this baby gonna go to, or what's the doctor's
Right. What doctor we going to, what medication they put on, you gotta have
any of this
all
stuff.
control in custody. But yet and still, it only takes two for the financial aspect. That's bullshit. And the only reason why states go along with it is because the states are making more money off of your baby than you are. That's another problem I have with child support. Women so glad to run down the child support, make their child a ward of the state and basically raising a statistic when everybody is profiting off of your child but you have Walmart that's making money off of your fatherless child now. If when Walmart started, Walmart advertises now that you can make your child support payments at Walmart. It's like a $2 fee or something like that. So
Mhm.
Walmart
shut
hasn't
up.
provided one single solitary thing. They haven't sold any item, but they're gonna make $2 off of every transaction just because. So everybody making money off of your baby, but you.
She
Making
asked
money.
her money up because when you go down there and you ask for that child support, but when you go down there and get that welfare check, they're gonna take that child support. They don't let you keep both.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Not at
So you're
all.
you're selling your child as a ward of the state for pennies on the dollar. And while you want to be applauding how much money you getting, the state getting way more money than you, sweetheart. So if you collecting 3,500, the state getting at least 5,000.
On everything. On the same child that you complaining
Right.
about.
So the states don't give a damn about these kids. They're not making decisions in the best interest of kids. They're making decisions in the best interest of the state's pocketbook. That's my problem with child support. Yes, I do believe that men should support their kids, but women have to first allow it, and family courts has got to stop allowing the alienation of fathers or any non-custodial parent.
Hmm. It's
But
easier
back
to
to these
divide
politics.
and conquer. It's easier to divide and conquer that way. You can't divide and
Right.
conquer if there's a strong family bond. So in order to create the statistics, they have to separate the families, and that's just one of the ways that they do it.
Right. But you know what? That's funny you said that though. And just off topic for a second, there was a guy that they interviewed. He was somebody who took advantage of women and children, right? He was a pedophile. And they when they interviewed him, they asked him, how do you select your victims? You know the first characteristic he looks for? Broken homes, fatherless homes. He looks for women that are victims. He looks for women that don't have a family structure at home. Y'all are making yourselves victims.
Victims. So sad. So sad. Well, let me get over here. We're gonna pull up another pull up another video. I don't have to. I'm not gonna do the fact check since we didn't already basically ran through.
Yeah, they fact check said that's not true. He ain't run over her foot. Or and I'm not gonna say they said he didn't. They're saying there was no evidence that he did.
Well, there was a video, a police body cam video about this dispute with him responding to the video.
He responded.
Yep, we can play that real quick. It was a 1 minute, a little 1 minute video, real fast. Let's see. These little people testing it tonight. They get in here. She was in here jumping on the back of my neck.
Okay. Hey, she said she wanted her 15 minutes of fame, honey.
Right. You try to give her 5 seconds. Don't do her. 5 seconds
Or
of
she
fame.
said
Don't
you
do her.
slacking on your mommy duties.
She like
I'm just saying.
Nah, everywhere.
She just, girl, what is you
Just
doing?
seen her pop up like ping. Like what? Oh, there go my TT girl. Oh my bad.
On the water, walk off.
Okay.
Whether they came up here, they playing in the bathroom. Like what?
Listen, they come find you as soon as you get on the show.
I was like, get out of here. And they was all looking like, oh my God.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Do you see? Can y'all see this?
Uh-huh.
All right.
If you can make it bigger though, but we can see it.
All right.
Senate candidate Rafael Warnock is responding to attacks related
Oh, you're
to
in it. It's not gonna let you be great.
dispute between he and his ex-wife back in March. Tucker Carlson aired
Can you turn it up,
body
Rock?
camera video last night on his Fox News show. It shows police respond to a call from Warnock's ex-wife, Ole Warnock. A police report says Warnock told officers he was there to pick up their children for school, running over her foot.
That was as loud as
it's
it
breaking
go.
up. Oh, but it's breaking up, Rocks.
Body camera video of the incident last night on U.S. Senate candidate Rafael Warnock is responding to attacks related to
Is it playing now?
he and his ex-wife.
Yeah, but it's choppy.
Tucker Carlson aired police body camera video of the incident last
It's
night
still choppy
on his Fox News show. It shows police respond to a call from Warnock's ex-wife, Ole Warnock. A police report says Warnock told officers he was there to pick up their children from school when they got into an argument.
Well, it's playing now.
Accused him of running.
No, it seems like it's playing now
with his car as she was standing next to it. We spoke with Reverend Warnock today.
Now it's breaking up again.
He addressed this incident back when it happened, and it's now resurfacing as a political tactic by his opponent.
It's sad that once again, Kelly Loeffler, who has spent this in my church, is now attacking my family. I think it's sad. And when you consider that it's 2 weeks from an election and 2 days from Christmas, that's a new low even for her.
Reverend Warnock was not arrested or charged with a crime for that incident. The police report says Grady Hospital first was on his ex-wife's foot, and the couple divorce was.
They play all day. And I had to definitely cut it back off. It was still over here trying to stream. I couldn't even get off of it.
Yeah, I mean, but he just basically came out and said they were just allegations. And that's possible. It's very possible.
I don't know, that little ass driveway, that little ass way that I got to bag out and stuff. I suggest you do bag back. There's only one person in one car, you know. That's a little bitty driveway. I mean, that little garage. I'm sorry, that little garage. It's kind of small and snug. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no room.
Hey,
to
that's
do
why
all
she
that.
want more. That's why she want more child support.
Ain't no room for that. Nah,
She can
just
get
get
a
out the
bigger
way.
driveway.
Yes, she do. She got it big enough for her and the baby she hold. She just gotta get out the way. Like, what you in there for? You ain't leaving? Then get out the way.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing about her getting her foot ran over. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't. I have no idea. But if he did, I still feel like as an adult, I'm not standing behind nobody's car that's crump and they happen to be in any gear, whether it be drive or reverse, first or second, third, fourth, or fifth gear. I will not be standing in the way of that vehicle. I do not have bumpers.
Yeah, no.
So, because I'm not pursuing you, but like I said, anytime somebody chooses to walk away, that is some form of surrender. Let people walk away. You don't get to pursue somebody and then complain about what happens in the aftermath. Let that man walk away. Had
Because
she
that
told
walk
you to
away,
walk away and get in his car, you wouldn't even been able to even fathom the idea of your foot getting ran over. Whether it happened or not, you couldn't fathom the idea of that happening had you let that man just walk away. Let people walk away. Stop pursuing people. Stop being aggressive. Stop going after everybody. Stop demanding that somebody speak to you.
Mhm.
Man,
That's
she
the
should have let that man walk away.
that's part of that's a lot of the reason why a lot of domestic violence issues
I was
ensue.
just about to say that's a lot of DV issues right there because you don't let nobody walk away.
Walk off. That
Okay.
walk off right there is what saves you from getting your head knocked off. That's the cool
Oftentimes.
down. That's the cool down.
Oftentimes.
Whether it be
Right.
male or female, that walk off sometimes is what's saving you from an argument or not. So
But you
don't
know
feel
that
like
they seem to take that as a personal, like an attack or a threat. I'm like, how is somebody walking away from you? How do
away
you
from
take
it.
that personally? It's like
Yeah.
a how dare you to them.
But that's
And
not
I'm
even what it
sorry, that
is.
is a form of
I'm
surrender.
upset. I need to decompress before I kill
Bye,
everybody.
Felipe. Bye,
Okay.
Felipe. Bye, Felipe. I don't care. Bye.
Yeah, I need a breather. So let me
Because
have
hey, Roxy, Niecy, now y'all know I exit stage left real quick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I would have walked away before he got to his car. Because I have zero patience for tomfooleries, and peace will be maintained in this house. If you ain't come over here with peaceful intentions, I'll holler at you later. We can try this again tomorrow.
He would
Do
have
y'all
walked
hear
out the
that?
door. He would have walked out the door.
If I
I would have
lose
closed it.
y'all, it's thundering and lightning over here, so I might lose y'all.
I would have closed it and locked it, and that would have been the end of it.
don't
Okay.
lose. It's okay. We getting ready to close up anyway because they is calling me.
Oh, we can't get into the debate.
Nah. She keep
Well, I
looking
guess
over
we'll have
there.
to do a part 2 and get into the debate.
Yeah, so what's up with this debate tomorrow? Because I got some time tomorrow.
Okay, that's cool. And I guess we can say we'll save the Michigan GOP too, because we didn't do that one either.
The
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan.
The GOP, the gubernatorial candidate that basically said the Democratic Party is trying to enslave all Americans.
I understand what you're saying, but you keep saying the M. Take it out.
She's from Michigan.
She going in the back. She better stop playing with me. What I had said.
She's from Michigan.
She kicked me in the back. Oh my God. She just kicked me out like, oh my God. She kicked me to the back like in the back of the bus. She just threw me in the back of the bus. Did y'all just see that? Oh my God.
But hold on, what does Michigan mean? I don't. What's the reference?
Cause that's disrespectful. She trying to be funny. She just gonna
Oh.
drop the M.
Hey, but Michigan being in the
Put
cover
her in the
stories
back.
and
Put her ass in the back.
a lot
Put her
of
ass
stuff
in the back.
going on.
She keeps saying it.
You
Put your
can't
ass
put
in the back.
Roxy in the back. Only Roxy can put Roxy in the back.
No, put your ass in the back. Put your ass in the back. You the one that keeps saying anime. You the one that keeps saying it. I said Michigan. Michigan.
It's Michigan.
That's what's wrong with your ass.
Because that woman from Michigan.
That's what's wrong with you. Put her ass in the
Hey,
back.
I
Put
know
her
a
ass
lot
in
of
the back.
I know great people from Michigan.
Put her ass in the back.
This is what I'm saying.
I
Okay.
know great people from Michigan too.
Just kick her off again, Rox. She ain't learned shit. She
I
gonna
love
learn today.
y'all. I
She gonna
love
learn today.
y'all. I catch y'all tomorrow. They gonna
You
get me
gonna learn
off.
today.
They so mean. I love y'all.
Yeah, she started saying farewells real quick. Like, I love everybody. Good night,
Right.
y'all. Good night.
Right. Let me say my goodwills. I love y'all. Y'all
Start
stay
calling
proud.
All
Shout out to my mama. Thank you, Jesus.
Right. Melanated and Candace. I love y'all.
right,
That's
so
y'all.
we'll part two it tomorrow.
All right, y'all. So definitely y'all come out and check us out again. Tomorrow we'll jump into part 2 and we'll talk about this Warnock Walker debate. And we'll talk about Michigan.
Okay. So don't get it twisted.
I said go
But
blue.
yeah, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We appreciate everybody coming out.
For sure.
Let's go. Ohio State.
Hey, we don't do let's go
Sky
around here.
babies.
Nuh-uh.
We can't say let's go.
This is why she going in the back right here.
Where
This
we
right.
going?
I said go blue.
What? I said Buckeye babies.
Y'all thought we was gone, didn't y'all? Yeah, no.
I was waiting on you to do what you did yesterday.
I ain't cut it off. See y'all later.
Because you hung the fuck up. It was like the beat dropped. Roxy said, nope.
Nope.
Roxy said, hey, Roxy did that last call for alcohol.
Right. That's exactly what she did.
She hit him with that lights on in the club.
She was like, wait a minute,
Ooh. Start looking at people like, oh no, that is not.
Leave him there. Leave him there.
Right.
Hey, but what time you want to do tomorrow? Because I need to. I got stuff to do, so I need to plan around it. Because I don't want to do too late because I got a dinner date.
We still live.
Like to.
Oh shit.
And y'all still are here.
Man, Roxy, hang up. I'm so mad at you.
Right.
Oh, we leaving for real this time.
Hey, you trying to get me caught up.
Exactly.